Imagine living in an apartment where the walls are actually watching you. I thought I was smart for finding a bargain. My new studio was in an old brick building downtown. It had amazing character and thick walls. The heavy masonry blocked out all the city noise. It should have been my sanctuary of peace. Instead, it became my personal living nightmare. 3 nights after moving in, the sound started. It wasn't a random thud or plumbing rattle. It was something far more deliberate and eerie. A rhythmic tapping came from inside the drywall. It sat right behind where I placed my headboard. At first, I tried to stay rational. Maybe it was just mice in the attic. Maybe the old pipes were settling in the heat. But then the noise started following a pattern. Every single night at exactly 11:15 p.m., it began. 3 taps, a pause, and 3 more. It was perfectly timed every single night. I couldn't sleep because of the rhythmic beat. My nerves were frayed from my long work shifts. The tapping felt like a taunt in the dark. By day 5, I started to feel paranoid. I took a hammer to the drywall last Tuesday. I wanted to find the source of the noise. Maybe there was some loose construction inside the frame. I smashed through the plaster and hit old timber. I found nothing but dust and dry wood. But the tapping did not stop at all. If anything, it actually grew much louder. It vibrated against my skull when I laid down. Every night, I felt like someone was judging me. Last night, I finally reached my breaking point. I could not endure another night of silence. I grabbed a heavy flashlight to guide my way. I pressed my ear against the cold wall. I tried to pinpoint where it came from. My heart was racing in my chest. The air in the room felt very thin. "Who is there?" I whispered into the dark. My voice cracked because of my extreme exhaustion. The tapping stopped instantly at that exact moment. The silence that followed was heavy and suffocating. It felt like the building was holding its breath. Then, something impossible happened to my sanity. A voice did not come from the hall. It did not come from the street outside. It came from inside the wall itself. It was inches away from my trembling ear. The voice didn't sound human or strange at all. It spoke in a perfect imitation of my voice. "I can hear you breathing too," it whispered. The words felt cold and sharp like a knife. "You are getting much closer to the opening." I froze as the realization hit my brain. There was no one else in that building. The thing inside the wall knew my name. It had been listening to me for weeks. It was waiting for me to get close enough. Now, it had finally decided to speak back. "I don't think I can stay here tonight. I am currently sitting in my car outside. I don't want to go back into that room. Something is living behind the walls of that apartment. I have never felt so afraid in my life." The fixer-upper was not an empty shell. It was a home for something else entirely. "I am moving out first thing tomorrow morning. If you find a cheap apartment, be very careful. Some walls are meant to stay closed forever. Would you stay to find out what is inside?"